What up? What up? What up? Okay, I made this video right here. This is about buying and selling cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. I mean, this can apply to any kind of cryptocurrency. Um, but there's like a lot of information or little misinformation out there about making money with Bitcoin and stuff like that. In order to actually make money with Bitcoin, you have to buy and you have to sell. You can't just hold it. You can't just buy it and just hold it. You're not making any money. You're just holding it. Oh yeah, by the way, check out my little art back here. That's my baby girl. That's my daughter. But anyway, so I heard this one chick. She was like, she has Bitcoin, and she was like, oh, I made such and such amount of money. That was when she said I made such amount of money, but she had bought Bitcoin and she was holding it. That's a fictitious statement. You didn't make jack. You know what I'm saying? You're holding it. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, "Oh, Bitcoin is at such and such right now. So I made such and such amount of money." No, you didn't make nothing. You're holding Bitcoin. You didn't make zilch. Now, if you sell at that point, then will have realized your gains. You will have made money. But see, like, so right there at that point in time, she's like, "Oh, I made such and such." You didn't make nothing unless you sold it at that point in time. Because tomorrow, it's gonna either drop or it's gonna go up. So what if it drops down? What if it crashes? You know, but yesterday you said you made this amount of money. But you didn't. But tomorrow it crashes. But you never sold yesterday. So what happened to your gains yesterday? You said you made money yesterday on Bitcoin, but you didn't sell it. And then tomorrow it crashes and it goes down and it drops in value. What happened to your? You said you made big, but you said you made money on Bitcoin yesterday because the stock had risen or whatever. You don't make money until you sell. So I'm gonna show you my strategy right here, because you know what I'm saying, I buy it and I sell it. But this is what. Here's a stock chart for Bitcoin, right? All right, let's look at. This is May right here. This is May 2021. So this is like a 1 year graph. It goes up here. This is recent. This is right now. This is February 2022. This is where it's at right now. All right. Let's look at the highs. So the highest Bitcoin has ever been is about $64,000 per share. See, it's a high right here. It's about right here. It's about 59. That's about 60 right there. 61,000. Look at this peak right here, 63,000. About 58, and then it drops. See, these lows are like 30s, 30,000. 32,000. That's where this is where I loaded up. I got $10,000 worth of Bitcoin at this point, right? And I was holding. I sold right here when it hit 62,000, 64. I sold at 62,000, but it hit 64. But I dumped $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. I actually purchased. I forget. I made a couple $1,000s on that transaction. All right. But the highest it goes is like the 60s. You'll see, right here, right, is 64, 62, right? Over here, look at the highs, 63. Over here, 60. So my selling point is when it hits 60,000, I'm selling. When it goes down to 30, anything under 41,000, see right here, look right here. 42,000. That's a low. See right here, that's a low. 42. This is when you need to be buying. Anything under 41,000 to me is a buy. When it gets down, right, it's never gonna get this low again right here. That was the stock market crash right there. Now you see, we're in another recession right now. So I just bought a bunch of Bitcoin last week when it was like 30, right here, about 30. Let's see here. Right there. It's about 35 35,000 per share. I just loaded up on Bitcoin again because I sold right here. You know what I'm saying? When it was in 60s, I sold like 10 bands worth of Bitcoin. Then boom, now I'm loading up right now. I loaded up last week. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like 30 some. You see it's going up. Already made a couple $100 right here at this point. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to wait until it goes up. Boom, so I can make a couple thousand. You know what I mean? So this is how you buy. This is how you make money with Bitcoin. You want to buy at the lows. So this works with any kind of cryptocurrency. You want to look at the chart. You look at the highs. For Bitcoin, it's in the 60s. The highs are the 60s. The lows are the 30s. You want to buy here. When I see Bitcoin go under like what I said, when I see Bitcoin go under 41,000, it's a buy for me. That's when I start loading up. You know what I'm saying? This is all buying. This is just buy. You know what I'm saying? This is prime time to buy right here in the 30s. It'll never, it goes, see there's your low right there. It's not going to go any lower than that, 42. That's why I said about 41, 42, somewhere in that area. That's when you need to buy, because it's not going to go no lower than that sometimes, because if you load up right here, boom, you can just unload it all right there. You know what I'm saying? You can make a whole lot of money if you bought like $10,000 worth right here and you dump it right here. You're gonna make a couple $1,000s. You know what I'm saying? Within a couple days, you will make a couple $1,000 in a few days. You know what I'm saying? With not doing no work. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do right here. So when it gets to the 60s, that's when you want to sell. Anything over 60,000. Once it hits 60,000, I'm selling. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I'm just waiting now. I bought it right here. And when it goes back up to 60, I'm selling. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go back up to 60. It's going to get back up there. And see, sometimes, eventually it's going to start going up to like 70 and 80,000. That's, but so that's the strategy. That's how you do it. That's how you make money with Bitcoin. All these people talking about, they'll show you, I got $50,000 worth of Bitcoin, or I made you got a lot of Bitcoin, but you ain't made nothing. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is, you might have a lot of Bitcoin, but what does it do? It falls. It's going to go back down into the 30s. It's going to go up. Look at this. That's one thing about stock prices. They never stay the same. Every day it's either up or down. It's never the same. It will go up and down. There's no point in holding it. You know what I'm saying? The beautiful thing about Bitcoin, this is my favorite one because it's so volatile. Look how it goes up and down. Major spikes. That's why it's so easy to make money with Bitcoin. That's why everyone's making money with Bitcoin, is because it goes way up and then bam, it goes way down. Boom. And you could just, you want to sell right here and then boom, you can buy it all back right there. You know what I mean? Buy it all right back once it gets under 30. So that's how I make money with Bitcoin. That's how I'm not no kind of financial advisor. I'm just telling you, so I made a couple $1,000s in a few days, several times doing this. You know what I'm saying? And all I do is, I watch the charts. I study the charts. You can do this with anything. You always look at the peaks. You want to sell when it's at the high peaks, like here, 60,000, 62, 64, you know what I'm saying? 64,000. That's when you want to sell. When it gets to these lows, like 40,000, 35, anything under 40,000, I'm buying. So with Bitcoin, anything under 41,000, I'm buying. You know what I'm saying? Anything over 60,000, I'm selling. That's my strategy. That's just my personal strategy. It's worked for me. I made several $1,000s doing this. And, because people ask me, how do you do it? So this is how I do it. But some people, I hear them on YouTube. It'll be like, they'll show, I got $50,000 in Bitcoin. I made such and such. No, you have currently $50,000 worth of Bitcoin. But what happens when it drops down to $30,000 per share, like when it's at this lows? Your $50,000 now is going to be like $30,000. You know what I'm saying? You just lost 20,000. You know what I'm saying? But you don't never hear them talk about that. You only hear them when it's at the six, you know, when it hits $60,000, they want to show you, oh, I got $50,000 worth of Bitcoin because it's at its high point, it's at its mountain peak. But they don't never show you when it goes down into the valley and it's $30,000 per share. Then, oh, my $50,000 worth of Bitcoin is now $30,000 worth of Bitcoin. You just lost $20,000. But, you know, you're not losing and you're not making no money because all you're doing is holding it. You got to sell. You got to sell. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to go up and down. And then you just buy it again. You buy it when it's low. You sell it when it's high. Same thing with stocks. You know what I'm saying? So all these people talking about, oh, I made such and such amount of Bitcoin, and they just show you, oh, I got this much Bitcoin. They ain't made nothing. Yeah, you got a lot of Bitcoin, but you ain't made nothing until you sell it, though. You know? But that's just, you know, I just see a lot of misinformation because people be like, oh, I made such and such, and they ain't made nothing. All they doing is holding it. You ain't making nothing if you holding it. You got to sell that shit, man.